Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another new movie review. Today we are talking about ghost stories. Really quick though, before I get into anything else, I want to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for your support of my channel. Thank you guys so much. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. All right, so directed by Jeremy Dyson and Andy Nyman. The movie also stars Andy Nyman as well as Martin Freeman and Paul Whitehouse, and follows Professor Philip Goodman, who makes a living exposing and debunking the supernatural. One day, a fellow skeptic and Philip's hero, Charles Cameron, asks Philip to investigate 3 of his past cases which Cameron could not explain logically. This movie was adapted from a stage play of the same name and was coincidentally written by Jeremy Dyson and Andy Nyman. I really hope I'm saying their names right. You guys know how I am with names. That's nothing new. I mean, who better to adapt your play into a movie other than yourself, right? Stage play is known for running only 80 minutes with strong warnings against anybody under 15 attending the show, and also asking attendees to be extremely secretive about the ending, which leads me to my little disclaimer that this will be a spoiler-free review until after the outro. So I'm gonna do the review as normal, no spoilers, and then after I outro the video, I will talk spoilers for anyone who has seen the movie, and I will just say this is one that you really don't want spoiled for you. It would be like somebody spoiling the twist of Psycho for you before you go see it for the first time, you know? It will really change your viewing of the movie the first time if you have it spoiled. So I'm warning you against this. If you haven't seen it and you want to, please don't look up any spoilers. Anyways though, let's get into what I liked about Ghost Stories. I loved the movie. I loved it so much. I especially loved the setup of the scenes. So as this was coming from a stage play, I feel like they set up a lot of the scenes to reflect that. Not that there wasn't camera movement, but I feel like in a lot of, especially the closed spaces, the camera tended to stay in one position a lot, and it felt very stage play-esque. Like there was always one wall of the room that you couldn't see, and it kind of made you feel like you were sat out in an audience in a theater, and I liked that. But that's not to say it felt too stagey, kind of how I mentioned in my review of The Bad Seed. I remember talking about how that one felt very staged because that came from a stage play as well. This one was a good mix of like kind of hearkening back to it being a stage play, but also it being its own thing as a movie. Do you know what I mean? I also thought the movie was kind of isolating in a good way, if that makes sense, because there aren't a whole lot of extra characters milling around in the background. It's really just like our main character and then the individuals that he encounters throughout the movie, which I really liked. I really liked that. It made the movie scarier in my opinion, but that could also be because I was sat in my room by myself with the lights off watching it. The fact that there weren't a lot of extra characters, you know, just made it feel a little bit more isolated, but it was effective. I also loved the anthology style setup of the movie. Obviously, you know, it's all connected around Philip Goodman, but then he goes to 3 individuals who each tell their story, so then we go into that. You guys know I love a good anthology, and I especially love when the wraparound story is connected to all the stories. And I also loved how, despite the title being Ghost Stories, not all of the stories are necessarily about a ghost in the sense of it being like a haunted house sort of thing, if that makes any sense. And that's all I'm gonna say on that, it being vague. Acting was amazing, which isn't surprising at all, because I just feel like British actors are just better than everybody else, aren't they though? I feel like they're all like trained in theater and have done Shakespeare and things like that, and it's like a requirement to be an actor over there. I don't know if that's true. That's probably not true at all, but that's just what I feel like. I just feel like they're way better at everybody else at acting. So it's no surprise that the performances were awesome. Alex Lawther, I hope I'm saying his last name right, who plays Simon in the movie, was my favorite. His facial expressions alone were gold. Seriously, I related so much to his character, or I was just like, he was so kind of like endearing and drew me in just based on like his facial expressions, and I feel like I could kind of tell what was going on in his head without him having to say anything, and that was brilliant. Nyman was also really great as our main character. He did a good job of expressing like the emotional turmoil that his character is going through, because he starts off the movie as a hardcore skeptic, like just full on does not believe any supernatural thing ever at all. He debunks these things, so he's very cynical. But of course, as you would imagine, as he goes to each case, as the movie progresses, he starts to question this more and more, because if his own hero can't explain these logically, how is this guy gonna do it, you know? So he's kind of having his world shattered each case he investigates, because he, you know, he tries to flippantly just explain it all away, but deep down you can tell that he can't. And so I like how his mannerisms and the way he holds himself changes throughout the movie, and that's done very well on Nyman's part for portraying that super awesomely well. The effects were also really good. It was a combo of kind of like SFX makeup and some CGI thrown in there, but it wasn't bad CGI. It wasn't really gory per se. When I mean like SFX, it's more just like makeup effects, but still looked really good. That's what I really like about like paranormal and like ghost stories as well, though, is you can do a lot without having any effects. Like there's a lot of things that can be done with just like a person standing in the background and it being kind of blurry, and you can't really tell that it's you know, just a person, and you don't really need special effects to achieve that. And just noises and things like lights turning off and things like that, that's creepy in and of itself without any special effects. So I feel like, at least for me, it's super effective because I'm scared by that sort of thing. All right, so all that said, was Ghost Stories worth it? Absolutely, yes. If you notice, I didn't have any dislikes with the movie. I loved it. And like I said, I will reiterate again, this is really one that you don't want the ending spoiled for you before you go see it for the first time. Like I said, I would equate it to having Psycho spoiled for you before going in to see it for the first time. So just think about that. And if anybody has seen it and you want to talk about the ending, please give a fair warning before you do, because it's, I don't know, I just feel like it's really important not to have movies spoiled for you in general, you know, to form your own opinions. But this one, the twist is just so good that you really don't want it spoiled. Anyway, so I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5. I fucking love the movie. On IMDb, it has a 6.4 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 82% critic score and a 60% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 3.3 out of 5. So if you have seen Ghost Stories, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. I watched this on Amazon, so I will leave a affiliate link for it on my blog. On my blog, which is always linked in the description, so you can go rent it and watch it that way if you want. There's no pressure to use that link at all, but if you do, it does help out the channel a little bit. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye! Okay, so for those of you that have seen the movie, spoiler talk starts now. And really, the only thing I gotta talk about is that ending. Oh my fucking God. The ending was amazing. I knew nothing about this movie going in. I just heard about it and I knew it was from a stage play, and that was it. And I think that worked out really well in my favor, because I didn't even know that there was supposed to be a twist at all. So I'm just going along, like letting the story play out, and then, you know, all of a sudden the twist hits that Professor Goodman is catatonic and he is in a hospital and he is imagining all of this in his head, and oh my God, it was really good. And I liked how they revealed it very slowly, you know, because after the third story, things kind of start to spiral into this weird space where you don't know what's real and what's not anymore. which all makes sense for what's, you know, the fact that it's going on in Goodman's head. But I like how it unfolds very slowly. Like, they're slowly kind of getting you to get there. Like, do you get it now? Do you get it now? Do you get it now? And then finally, you know, finally we see Goodman in the hospital bed, you know, with all the tubes and everything. And then you're just like, jaw hit the floor. Like, I did realize that about halfway through the kind of reveal. The reveal is very long. Like, they're really trying to get you to get there little by little. And I liked that. I liked that it wasn't just out of nowhere big plot twist. It's like they were leading up to it, where you kind of don't know where the movie is going at that point, like how it's gonna end, and then you realize what's happening. It was really good. And given the twist, there's a lot of rewatch value in the movie, because obviously once you understand what the movie has been, you notice or you remember all of the foreshadowing and all of the hints that they were dropping at you throughout the movie that this is, you know, because then it all comes together and you're just like, oh my God, I get it. It was amazing. And that's what took me from like enjoying the movie to fucking loving the movie. You know, so there's going to be a lot of rewatch value. And this is a movie, and I don't say this about a lot of movies, but as soon as I was done watching it, I immediately wanted to restart it and watch it again. And as you will see in my favorites, it definitely made it into the top 5 of my Letterboxd for the year. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you know exactly what position it's in right now. But I'll talk about it in my favorites video. But yeah, so hopefully none of you guys cheated and you haven't seen the movie and you're listening to this right now. Shame on you if you are. Thank you guys for watching though. See you next time.